Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to make some super easy homemade pizza dough. Let's get started. Like this. Say, this is the peaceful grind.
This is the peaceful drive.
Alright guys, so all you need to get started is just a couple simple ingredients.
Yes.
I like to use either honey or agave for my sugar. So a little bit of agave, some salt, some all-purpose flour. I like to use unbleached and organic. King Arthur is a go-to. And some active dry yeast. It's that simple. I've got a mixer. You don't need a mixer. You can do this by hand if you want to. I like to use a mixer because it's easier. The first thing you want to do is you want to proof your yeast to make sure that the yeast is actually active yeast. So I like to do 2 cups of water. I take 2 cups of hot water, about 100 degrees, about 110 degrees of water, and then 1 packet of yeast. And I take my sugar, do about a tablespoon of sugar. That will help activate the yeast. Put the yeast in there. Do a little mixy mix.
You're doing great, Dad. You're doing great.
Thanks. Okay, now we're going to cover this up and let this sit for about 10 minutes. Grab us a towel.
And after this, syrup, and
Let it sit for about 10 minutes and come back and check on it. Of course, we got that coffee rolling.
Yeah, that be rolling.
That's right, baby. We got that coffee rolling.
Yeah.
Can't be cooking without some fresh coffee.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That was nuts.
It's been about 5 minutes. Yeast is looking good. Obviously, it's active yeast. So we can go ahead and start adding our flour and getting this mixed up. So now that the yeast is ready, we're going to go ahead and start adding our other ingredients. I like to use Celtic salt. You can use any salt you want. Put about, about a teaspoon or so of some salt. A little bit of olive oil. About a tablespoon. And then we're going to start adding our flour.
Syrup.
No, not the syrup. We already did the syrup. We're going to add our flour.
Yeah, why you get the syrup?
Well, because we used it.
Yeah, did we use it? Yeah.
All right, so I usually start with around 3 cups of flour.
Yes.
And usually ends up taking about 5. So 1, 2, and 3. And we'll get the dough hook on here. Go ahead and let this start mixing. So the consistency you want in your dough is you're going to add flour until it starts to stop. When it stops sticking to the edges is when you've added enough flour. So we'll just continue to add a little bit of flour at a time until we get to that point.
That thing is looking like moving the ball around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ain't never seen it drop something in there. Mama was making something. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, now you can see that it's pulling away from most of the edges now. So that's pretty good. That's about where you want it. Make sure that you add your flour slowly. You do not want to add too much. And so now that I've got it to the consistency I want, I'll let it continue to kind of knead itself for about, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes. All right. Next thing I want to do is I want to get it out of here, and I'm going to transfer it into another bowl that I can let it rise. I like to add oil. Back up.
Yeah, I know.
I like to add some oil to the bowl I'm going to put it in. So I'll put a little bit of olive oil in there. Kind of roll it around.
Yeah.
Get it nice and coated kind of up on some of the edges.
Yeah. That thing will stick on there hard. Yeah. I think it want to stay on there or something.
Yep.
And I think it want to say, hey, we need a one. I want to stay here.
Okay. Over into our next bowl here. So here's our pizza dough. I'm going to cover it up.
Yep. And let it sit for a while.
Yep. Want to let it sit for about an hour and a half. We'll come back. I'll punch it down. We'll take it out, and then we'll divide it up into our balls that we're going to use to cook later. And while we wait, more coffee. So here is what the dough looks like after an hour and a half. It's at least doubled in size, if not more. Got my flour. We're going to take some flour, throw it down. That oil will also help from sticking in the bowl too bad when it rises. So once you get your dough on the table and get some flour on it, we're going to go ahead and kind of start kneading it back together here. Getting all that air squeezed out.
I made you some water.
Oh, thank you, Louie.
Louie
made me some water. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Shaped into a dough ball. I'm going to split this directly in half. So there we go. I'm going to take some more flour here. I'm going to get these shaped into a couple balls. So here's my two dough balls. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these with a towel, and I'll let them continue to rise for about another hour, and then they'll be ready to go. You can roll them out and use it for pizza dough. So get you a kitchen towel and cover them up and just let them sit. There's no rush. And these will be ready to go in about an hour, ready to roll out, stick in the oven, and have for dinner. I make sheet pan pizza a lot of times. Sometimes I use the cast iron skillets to do our pizzas. But tonight I'm going to be using a sheet pan. This is I don't know, at least a foot wide. And it doesn't have the size on it. I was going to tell you what size it is. But this is about a a 12 by, I don't know, 22-inch pizza pan or sheet pan here. And so both of those doughs, this is the size that they'll make, the size of pizzas that they'll make. So you can make two really big pizzas. If I'm not doing big pizzas, I'll split them into four and I'll make four dough balls. And you can make four, I don't know, medium-sized pizzas with it. So it's quite a bit, and it'll make a lot of pizza. And that is how you make your own homemade pizza dough. It's very simple, easy to do. Anybody can do it. It's way better than what you're going to get from a frozen pizza or a pizza shop. Just do it yourself. I'm a huge advocate of doing things at home when you can. We do most of our own, all of our own cooking, and we try to make a lot of stuff ourselves. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And y'all have an awesome day. God bless. Peace.